Right, hi guys. So I had the HDMI recorder, the cheap iPin or whatever it was called. It was like 89 quid, something like that. I've sent it back. The one thing it did have in its advantage was it had a microphone port and a headphone port, so you could basically hear and record sound to it as well if I was out and about. Turns out that's wasn't the end of the world, but it also didn't work. So it also had a bit of a glitchy recording time every now and again. I don't know if that was the bit rate of the RX10 causing trouble. Anyway, I've sent it back, and looking at some reviews, I've gone for this one. Quite a bit more money. It's about 200 quid-ish mark. So it's double the price. It's got an OLED screen, and it can also, it's 5 inches as well. So compared to 3, it's quite a bit bigger. So it's going by the reviews, it's much better built. Like I say, a decent OLED screen, also full HD screen as well. So that's good. Can we get into this thing? You can tell straight away just the quality of the box was much higher. Anyway, it features a 5-inch OLED screen, full stereo speaker sound, aluminium housing, so it's decent made rather than just cheap plastic, because the other one did feel really cheap. Built-in large capacity battery, supports input and output of 1080p video signals. I'm not that worried about the 4K side of things. I'm just basically going to be using this for basically filming my focus points and stuff like that. So it's not a huge issue. Supports the input and output of AV, HDMI, HD video signal, supported recording playback, supports plug and play USB and SD ports, and USB-C. So yeah, works well apparently. So let's go into this box. Lovely. A little hole here. I'm just going to tip it upside down. Yeah. A lot easier. Right. In the box we have the unit itself. It's about the same size. I mean, I'm recording on my phone now. It's about the same size as I suppose as a iPhone mini. Not iPhone mini, iPad mini. It feels heavier and is built well. So yeah, USB-C for charging. It's got a full size SD card slot as well, rather than a micro SD, which is good because I've got a couple of spare SD cards, and the micro SD cards just wind me up because you put them in those little adapters, these things, little SD card adapter. You put the micro SD in there, and sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. I've got loads of them, but you know, this probably hasn't got any charge in it. There's a power button on the top. No power at all. But it's lightweight, it's super skinny. It's about this width of the iPhone. He almost drops it. Whoa, what cool. Lots of buttons on the side and the front. HDMI port in and out, so you can record streaming through it. And audio, video, audio in and out as well. So nice and simple. Like I say, it's got the speakers on the back in there. But that's going to fit hopefully on my, yeah, it should do, fit on my phone holder as well. Good thing about it is as well, the HDMI cables come out the side, not the top. So that's good. I should get it charged up. I'll tell you what, they give you an SD card with it, an unbranded one, but I don't know how big it is. We'll find out later. Audio video cables with AV sockets. So basically, if you're recording, so it means you can record like an old VHS videos and stuff like that. What else we got here? Oh, UK plug charger. It's not the kind of thing I'd use because I've got loads of USB-C charging cables and plugs and stuff anyway. HDMI cable, which I won't use. What's this? And just a USB-C cable as well for charging. So very, very simple and easy. Let's plug this in, see how big this card is quickly into the computer. The fact they give you a card with it is unheard of. Why do they give you some storage? £64 gig. Can't moan at that. So, does it give me any details about it? Hang on. Yeah. That's really cool. Can't moan at that at all. So, yeah. Free, or included SD card. Which way do they go in though? That's the question. Like that, it's in. That's really cool. Pleased about that. I have got spares anyway, but that gives me tons of storage on there for recording stuff. So that's really cool. Yeah, and also plug it into your camera so you can show the focus points and the camera working, adjusting. But as a field monitor, it's a much nicer size screen. So yeah, really, really cool. I shall try and charge this up, and then we can have a look at it and see what it looks like. So hi guys, this is the Digitnow video HDMI recorder screen and record. It takes a full-size SD card, and I was really pleased actually that they put an SD card in it. It comes in the box, so I wasn't expecting that at all. I have got other spares and stuff, so there's no real drama. But 64 gig card in there, so that's cool. You get an HDMI cable, full size, about a 1 meter length. You also get the AV cables, you know, remember the old sort of red, yellow and black one? You get that as well. So you can plug it into old VCR, DVD players and stuff like that that didn't have HDMI back then. So if you want to do some copying of old videos and stuff, you can actually do that on here, which is actually quite good. And you know, it's going to be quite a handy thing. But obviously for what I use it for is showing you guys what the camera's doing. So if I can just push record, which is that one, the middle one here, and now it's recording. So if I zoom in, I can then get the camera to focus, and basically it's just going to show you what I'm doing with the camera. So I can go through my menus, I can go to the menu button. It's exactly what I wanted to do in the first place. So I can now set the camera up and show you guys what I'm doing and how I'm adjusting stuff. So obviously things like I can adjust my ISO for a particular photo, adjusting my aperture, my shutter speed, and all that sort of stuff, and show you how the picture was taken originally. So my latest video about autumn, I used the previous one, which has now been sent back because it was basically a piece of junk, which is a real shame because it was cheap. But at the end of the day, I think buy cheap, buy twice, and I wish I'd spent the extra 120 quid and just bought this straight away. It's a complete game changer. The screen on it is really nice. It's nice and bright. I've got a bright light shining at the back of this, and I can actually see it really clearly. So I think it's going to be fine outside in the sunshine, which would be really good. And I can actually see it clearly because it's a 5-inch screen. I know the camera's not taking up the full 5-inch because obviously it's a 3x2 thing. So actually, if we change the aspect ratio to 16:9, doesn't take all of it actually. I suppose it won't because it's still got the menu stuff around it. But for video wise, actually it should use the whole 16:9 as a recording, but it's still absolutely plenty to see nice and clearly. So it's bigger than the rear screen on the camera by a little bit. So what I can see anyway, the buttons and everything are really well placed out. So you've got mode, you've got the menu button, I was recording, isn't it? So we'll stop that for a minute. We've got the menu button, really basic menu. Right, so the menus, I've got the top button which does the menu, so you can come in and out of that. So if I want to come, actually it's quite good, I don't even have to turn it off. If I want to come into the menu, it's very quick and easy. I thought then, because when I pushed that menu button actually, it showed my rear screen for a second, but for some reason it's gone now. There you go. So you have got up and down buttons there, so we can go into the HDMI, we can change that to AV, but obviously it's HDMI. We can change it from USB in the USB mode, which is the top here. That's basically for charging, but you can set it to USB mode. We also got a full-size USB mode port in there, so you can plug it into different things like your phone or whatever. Default storage is SD, but obviously you can plug in a USB hard drive as well. So that means it can record to a hard drive, which is quite handy. Come back out of there. We can also do schedule recording. Not really sure what that does or how. Oh, weekly. So basically you could set it up, I suppose, schedule recording. Not something I would use. Restore the factory settings. Format your card, obviously. Firmware update. I don't know if it's a firmware update. I've not actually looked yet. I'd imagine this is new, so it's probably up to date, but we never know. Sometimes it's out. Language. It's time and date, which I've done. Date stamp is turned off, so I don't get all that rubbish on the screen, which I don't want. And it's at full 1080p, 60 frames per second for the quality. If we come out of there, it's basically that is it really. You've got a volume control, so if you're playing it back, it's got speakers, so you can play back what you've recorded or watch whatever you've got on your SD card or whatever as well. So that's really handy bit of kit. Very simple, easy to use. Not sure how long the battery lasts. It's fully charged at the minute, bar a little bit. It's only been on about 10 minutes and it's moved a tiny bit. So there's no brightness controls that I can find. Not that I know of yet. I need to have a proper read of the menu and the manual to go with, just to make sure I've not missed anything. But other than that, it's very basic. Like I say, you've got a, if I rotate the camera around, on the side of the camera there, you've got, actually, I'm not going to see it. It's going to focus. Doesn't really like it. There you go. You can see HDMI out, so it means you can plug it in to a TV or whatever, so you can come in via this bit and then go out as well, so you're kind of like passing through, so you can actually stream on it, so you could record streams or TV. You can record TV shows or whatever you want to do, really. Yeah, so that's quite cool. Like I say, AV in, AV out as well. The other side is the SD card slot, which is there, which doesn't like focusing on. There we go. Very simple bit of kit. And the cool thing about it is if I turned it around, obviously I've got it around the wrong way at the moment, if I actually turned it around, I could actually use it as a monitor to record myself filming. So if I'm doing an interview or whatever, we can see what we look like and how the cameras, and also obviously record it. But yeah, really cool bit of kit for not a lot of money. There's also a reset button at the back that I've just seen, so if it ever crashes or anything, you've got it there to use. But yeah, I think for the money, it's probably the best one out there. You suddenly get to the sort of £500 mark, and you know it causes, you know, it's something. I'm not going to make the most of it because it's something I just want in the bag. That, you know, if I'm out and about and I'm recording stuff, and I want to show you guys this, that, and the other, I can put it in, put it out. It's going to be a couple of minutes here or there, wandering around, and you know, it's going to give me better footage to show you guys, and maybe make it a bit more interesting. You can actually see the photos being taken and what settings I'm actually doing. So rather than me explaining, you can see live, well, I say live, but recorded live, how the photos were taken, or how the video was taken, or what settings I was doing for that. So yeah, really cool. Well, that was just a basic look at this recorder here. And yeah, it looks really good. Build quality is great and not hugely expensive. Nice and sort of compact, well built. Batteries should last quite a while, and I'll be taking it out next week to give it a good run through and hopefully show you some really good footage from it. So watch this space, and don't forget to click the subscribe button, little notification bell as well, and I'll see you soon.